All right, let's talk about map making today. How can you make your maps better and faster? One of the things you will notice if you are in the editor and tried making maps before, you'll realize that the game has literally thousands of things you can place in a map. Um, Not only the soldiers and the vehicles, which are, I don't know how many are in there, but it's got to be thousands of different items. But once you start to look at the amount of trees and rocks and bushes and construction items and bridges and everything from, pieces of debris and different stamps and everything that goes into making a landscape, you begin to see that you're either going to have to invest hundreds of hours of remembering where all this stuff is, or there has to be a better way. And I think this might help you as far as being a better way. One thing I didn't realize until recently, in the last couple of years, is that you can copy and paste items, which means that if you open one large map, and let me zoom out here, and you see all these items, you're going to realize that, wow, why not just find the items I like to use once, put them in one huge map, build them up how you like them. Like maybe you want to build a farmhouse and do it right once. And so, why do it over and over and over? So as long as you build it on a fairly flat piece of land, it should maintain its integrity as you copy and paste it into another map. Also, with all the roads and all the different cracks, stamps, and little squiggles and bumps and rocks, textures, why not just put them all on one map where you can see what muddy roads you want to use, what's available. So you may want to spend a day or two just, finding all the different household items you can put inside houses. And you may say, well, why bother even putting in items inside a house? Well, if you see a house explode when it's empty, that's one thing. If you fill that house with household items, it's going to blow up all that much better. Because every item in the game is modeled. They catch fire. These tables and chairs will catch fire. If the house blows up, pieces of these tables will go flying. It all adds to making a better map. And that's why you want to, if you have a modern computer, you want to think about adding way more stuff to your maps as long as your computer can handle it. If you're not playing online, multiplayer, a modern computer can handle, 5 times as much stuff on your map as you're normally making. And you'll have a much better experience as an example, if a grenade lands right here inside this little bunker, if there was no bunker and it was just a field gun out in the field, you're either going to blow up the field gun or you aren't. But if a field gun's in a bunker with all this type of stuff, with all the these sandbags around it, the ammunition boxes, the pieces, a few mortar shells there, even if a grenade just lands near this, it's going to blow up all this stuff. The mortar shells might go off, which would cause secondary explosions. And you end up, when your whole map is done, you end up with a much better gaming experience. The same thing with debris. There's all kinds of great things in the editor to create beautiful scenes with fire, explosions, all kinds of effects. So make one large master file. Another great tip is, and I'm going to get into how you build all these things once and can reuse them multiple times later. Make one beautiful debris field that you can use in many different situations. When you need a hero shot and you need some really nice looking debris, make it once, find where everything is, and put it in your master file. And also another thing that is really irritating when you're first starting making maps is you may find a really nice ground texture. I happen to like this grassy, half grass, half rocky dirt one right here. But you may think, oh God, there's hundreds of different textures. How am I going to find this unless I write it all down? Well, you can go to your land section tab here. And if you go to textures and you take your brush and hover over whatever texture you want to find or remember what one it is, just hit the control key or keep the control key pressed, click on it, and your list of hundreds of textures will be updated to whichever one that is. So I just clicked on this and I find that it's this one right here. Double click and there you have it in your editor browser. So you can do that for any one of the textures in the game. You simply say, oh yes, this deserty, gravelly thing over here, which one is that? Well, control key down, click on it, and I see that it's this thing right here. So I can remember that and bring it into my new map. So it's you're going to save a lot of time and energy doing things this way. I'm also going to get into there's a whole nother video on how to create, you can customize your trees. Many people think the trees are starting to look aged because you can see if I zoom in here on a tree that hasn't been enhanced, you can see that you can see the polygons that make up the leaves, and it's starting to show its age, even though it renders quickly. If you're not playing online, you can create trees such as this one. Now, all these trees here are doubled up, so I'll explain how I just double them and spin them around to give you twice the leaves. This one over here hasn't been done, so you can see how sparse it looks. But this tree clump over here has, and you can see that it looks like it has twice as many leaves to it. And it does. It's just doubled up on itself and spun around. And there's a few little tricks. And also, if you're going to make a master map, do things right. And if you're going to make a tree and you're going to enhance the tree, add some grass at the base of the tree to make it look like it actually belongs in the scene. If you see here, there's grass at the bottom of this tree because oftentimes in nature to make, when you have a tree trunk just coming straight out of, flat ground with an ugly texture, it looks very fake. But if you make an enhanced tree with grass at the base of it with a nice ground texture, you're starting to make your maps look a lot better. So not much more to this video. This is just a quick video. But if you're going to use this, all you do is pick out the items. What I'll do is I'll grab a bunch of items. I'll put them to the side depending on what map I'm making for that day. And I'll grab whatever items I want and say I'm making a destroyed Jeep scene. So I'll copy that, Control V, and then Control C and then Control V, and I got my destroyed Jeep. Now normally you might have to search half a day to find this Jeep in the inventory throughout all these little folders. You may not remember where it is or how to find it. But once you do that and make a master file, you'll know exactly where to find it. You just fly over this big map and pick out the items that you use most. And then once you have everything you want, you just select everything. Make sure you're selecting the right stuff from right above it. You don't want to be selecting it from way over here and select a bunch of other stuff with it. But just make sure you select the right things. And you go to Control C. So copy. Then I'm in F2, so I go to Load New Map. And I'll go to any kind of Let's see, tutorial default. So you load up your new scene or make a new scene, whatever. You load that up and turn off the fog of war. And these items that you wanted to use, you go to a place in the map, your new map, where you want to put them down for use, and just go Control V and click down, and there they are. Now I can take the Jeep and I can put it where I want and start to build the scene around it. And I have the items and sometimes custom items that I've made in my master scene. All this customized stuff available for any map you want to use. So that's my quick little tutorial for today. Hope you get something out of this, and we'll see you in the next video.